Let's bring in Senator Johnny Isakson, a Republican and a member of the Senate Finance Committee. Senator, thank you for being here on a day like today. You know, I think the question on everyone's mind is, who's going to take a bill to the floor first? Is it going to be the House or the Senate? There's a lot of confusion right now for us. Can you clear this up for us, sir?
I'll give you my best estimate. My best estimate is if the House does not pass something out by 8 or 9 o'clock tonight, the Senate will pass something out before noon tomorrow. I think everybody believes for the House to act first is best, but if the time's running out, if they don't do it by tonight, by tomorrow, I think the Senate will be passing a bill out.
Okay, so that means that we would indeed make that deadline of Thursday at 5 p.m. And we say that deadline because that's what the Treasury Secretary Jack Lew has put forth to all of you, is when this needs to be done. Now, there's a couple of key sticking points, in particular the medical device tax. That's the big question. Where do you stand? I know that on the GOP side, Speaker Boehner, Speaker Boehner wants to see that extended for 2 years, not address the medical device tax. Where do you stand on that particular issue? Because that does affect our viewers.
Well, you know, 75 members of the Senate voted in favor of repealing in its entirety the medical device tax when we had the budget debate in March of this year. That's a very popular move, and it would receive a lot of support. But I think we're getting down to the lick log, as they say in the South. We've got to get something done and don't have a lot of time to negotiate. I anticipate what ends up passing the Senate and ultimately the House in a bipartisan fashion will be a relatively clean CR, a relatively clean increase of the debt ceiling, and keep our budget levels at the BCA caps, which is very important fiscally to see that we make the cuts necessary.
Well, one of the things that the House came out with today, Speaker Boehner, I have to be very careful here, was that they wanted to extend the debt ceiling, but only until February 7th, so a short-term extension. What is the sense with you and your colleagues on the Senate side of that? I mean, is that something that you want to fight for as well, or is Speaker Boehner somewhat on his own here, Senator?
No, I think he's probably on the right track. Fact of the matter is we need to open up the government, extend the CR. I would do it till the end of the fiscal year next September, get that put to bed so there are no more shutdowns, and then get ready to talk about the debt ceiling. You know, our problem as a country is we get deeper and deeper in debt. We need to debate how we turn that around and make some fundamental structural changes, which you can only do when you have the leverage of a debt ceiling. So February would be a short enough term to bring relief to the market, but a long enough term to make some substantive changes.
One of the things, and I don't know if you were on the Senate floor this morning, Senator, I'm sure you were, but Senator Reid made some rather inflammatory comments, and he talked about the ratings agencies. Now, the rating agencies have said that they have no comment on Senator Reid's comment, but he said that the ratings agency would cut our credit rating as soon as tonight. Have you heard any of that talk on the Senate floor? Do you agree with Senator Reid at all?
I'm very disappointed in Senator Reid. Senator Reid has the upper hand, and he knows it, but he knows our country's running out of time. We shouldn't have last-minute political jousting or threatening the debt ceiling or scaring the markets. As a leader, he should lead. Let's get a bill on the floor of the Senate. Let's get it to the House, and let's put an end to this.
Okay, and you know, Senator Isakson, I mean, obviously, the two people that have really come together, and it looks like there's a bipartisan meeting of the minds, is Senator McConnell and Senator Reid. Have you been privy to those conversations? Has Senator McConnell come back to you and giving you more of an idea, of a sense of how those meetings are going between the two of them?
They weren't going anywhere until 4 days ago, and then they started talking and they started negotiating. Those negotiations fell apart this morning, but only as a ceasefire, not as a retreat. I think they're ready to put a deal together pretty soon and get it to the floor of the Senate once we know the House is not going to act. Okay,
I know that you've told me at the beginning of the interview that the Senate is ready to act. If the House, maybe by this evening, can bring something to the floor, then it goes to you. Do you think the Senate can make this happen? Can we make the deadline?
I think we can, but the clock is running, the candle's burning low. We better hurry up.
Okay, well, I think that leaves a lot to chance here. Senator Isakson, we certainly are watching every move that things are happening. Senator Johnny Isakson, thank you, sir. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you very much.
All right. Well.